I was watching TV the other day, and there was an adult playing laser tag with a bunch of kids, and I thought to myself, like, that shouldn't be weird. But take the kids out of it. Like, grown adults should be able to play laser tag, and that'd be cool. And there's certain things that's like we did as kids that's like should still be okay and cool. That like laser tag.
I never would have thought that was weird.
Are they his kids?
No, they're not. He's competing against those kids.
Oh, then yeah, that's
Kind of what?
son. If
I would go beats. You know how often I lost in laser tag.
Okay.
Man?
He went by himself though too. Like he went and playing against kids.
I need a group with me. Like this got to be a co-op mission.
Right. So a group of grown men go in there, play some kids. Straight.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm overthinking it entirely.
I mean, if they want to lose,
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I am?
Guess so.
I am on the cusp of it.
I mean,
my
like
knees might go up.
kids nowadays are like really cocky, so
And you're not down to pay.
They probably hit him up and they're like, "Yo, all of us against you," and he was like, "Okay."
And it will work. They can get humbled that day. I can serve some humble pie that day. It could work.
That's what I'm saying.
Believe that. Because I'm telling you what, laser tag, that's some good stuff right there.
I don't know, man.
What's wrong?
I'm thinking about it.
No, I'm thinking about it. Last time I went laser tag,
We
they
was drunk.
forced me to go. So it was.
Oh, you was there too.
So it was our brother's birthday, and he wanted to go laser tag. Right. We traveled all the way to Pennsylvania because that's where he's at.
Word.
And during that trip, somehow, some way, I got sick. Right.
Okay.
So I felt like crap.
Was this pre-COVID or?
Oh no, this is it's pre-COVID. So I felt like crap, right? And they was like, "No, man, come on, you gotta come and go." I'm like, "Bro, I just want to sit in that. I just want to lay in the house and sleep, bro. I don't have the energy for nothing." They forced me to go and play laser tag. And when I tell you I had zero energy, I had zero energy. I was not able to run, duck, hide, or nothing. Like, the man was sitting up there explaining all the rules and regulations of what we supposed to do in laser tag, and I'm looking like half past dead.
Yo.
He didn't care. He was still explaining the rules.
And the crazy thing though is I feel like you'd be a really tough target because your chest is like way above people's heads. So you run around a corner and you're aiming low. The chest piece is up here.
I
feel like you'd be a pro at this game.
If I had the energy, possibly, yeah. But during that instance, no. It was just, what's crazy is it was just us three.
That's a different story.
Wait, the three of y'all were just playing the game. Like, there was nobody else at the game? Just
No.
the three? Oh, gosh. That's jokes.
No.
That's jokes.
I was sick as a dog.
First of all, normally when you play, there's like 2 teams. So how many teams were there?
None.
No teams. It was just every man for himself.
It
And
should have just been a one-on-one.
And this is like my earlier years, so like I had like a Simply Lemonade jug of jungle juice before we went, so I had a blast. I don't know about him. I distinctly remember him getting into the game later on, like that sickness started to lift. You know, once laser tag got to going.
Is that how you remember it?
That's not how I
That's
remember.
not how you remember it.
That's not how I remember it. I remember just feeling like crap, bro. So many bad things happened to me on that trip, man.
Yeah, it did, man. I feel bad for you.
So many things, bro.
I had an awesome time, man. I was like, hey, man.
Let me ask you this before. I'm gonna get to see. Just one quick question. Have y'all ever had Everclear?
What's that?
I think so.
Everclear is nothing but alcohol. And
Okay.
they gave it to me as a shot and told me to just drink it straight up.
Okay.
Alcohol, the Everclear is like 135 million% alcohol volume, bruh. Like,
Okay.
It's 100% grain alcohol, bro.
Word. Really?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's all it can be. It's 100%.
No, you get 150 proof.
You can?
Yeah.
I hate when stuff goes up past like 100% because I'm just like, ain't that the point? But then we do the percentages to get to this point.
bruh. And
They said Bacardi got what, like the regularly?
151.
Oh, that's the. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it's there.
Okay. Hey, say no mas.
It was terrible, bro. Because up to that point, I was just used to drinking a lot of stuff that was chased, right? So it had juice with it, pop with it, something. They just told me to drink it straight. I died on that floor. I fell to the floor and died for like a good 15, 20 minutes.
That sounds like a great way to sabotage somebody. Like play a drinking game and just be like, we play with 151 though.
No, we didn't. We just.
No, like I'm just saying that would be a way to set somebody up. Like, oh, let's play a drinking game. Oh yeah, it'd be fun. And be like, all right, bet. Shots on 151. Like
that's genius.
Like that would be that'd be tough. Nobody knows what they're coming in for.
Like you ice people before?
No, what's that?
Have you guys iced people before?
Mm-mm.
It's when you buy the Smirnoff ice bottles and you hide them in the house. And if you happen to open the door and it's there, you gotta chug it.
Whoa.
It's the worst thing when you've been partying all night and then I haven't done that in like 10 years, so
that's funny.
That's terrible.
It's genius.
That's funny. It's genius. It's genius. Yeah.
It's terrible.
That is terrible.
I have too many responsibilities to do something like that.
I would be mad if I got that.
You know, but I just feel like I missed my like drinking phase like moment in this like my drinking games phase moment. Like I had a bunch of friends who were older than me, so I played drinking games with them, but I couldn't drink, so I just was playing the games, have fun with that. Then after like I got here, I went to start going to like Bible school at 23. So in between that, I went on a missions trip for a year. So there was no real window to like just like drink and like figure it all out, right? It was then because once you get to Bible school, you can't drink. So I was just like, I feel like I missed the fun phase with alcohol. Now it's just the point. It's just like, all right, well, I drink wine now. That's my palate now.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. You're right, because there's probably some damage I avoided doing to myself. And I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting because now it's like if I ever get that urge to want to do that, everybody around me is like, for what? Like we got work tomorrow. like you know what I mean? Everybody's like we have responsibilities. I ain't trying to do all of that. And I'm like, oh, I just I got the kick to play one game. Like
I have too many drinking stories, and none of them really ends well.
I've heard some of them, and I definitely agree with what you just said. Yeah, none of them really end well.
You ain't missed nothing, man. You missed a lot of hangovers, throwing up, and acting an idiot in public. That's all you missed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds good right now as a stable adult that goes to his 9 to 5 every day. It does sound like something interesting.
A productive citizen.
Yeah, there's something about that. It's just like cool, but also let me be reckless one more time, bro. It's like a pre-midlife crisis.
Bro, if you ever get the urge, to just do that, just call me, bro. I'm down. I ain't at that age yet where I
All right.
Maybe a few more years.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah.
I like that.
DJ Envy Angela Yee. This is the breakfast. I
really
like
gotta
that
stop doing
over.
that.
I know.
You really gotta stop doing that.
I like it though.
Also, you're gonna get us in trouble, bro.
Yeah,
that's copyrights, trademarks, and all of that.
They wouldn't sue us, but we gonna make no money off this.
It's not gonna be them suing us. It's gonna be Viacom suing us.
I ain't heard that name since the 90s.
Is it Viacom or is it iHeart?
It's Viacom.
Yeah, Viacom.
Yeah.
I ain't heard that name since the 90s.
Also, Viacom, weren't they on T-shirts?
And commercials. You don't remember they used to come in Viacom. Then it'll just go off. It'll be a black screen like that THX thing that come on when you play them.
So is that the same Viacom or different Viacom? I don't know.
I don't know.
I ain't never heard.
It's a bunch of different like businesses that was around back then. You should be surprised today. Did you know that like Ameritech still exists?
What is that?
It was like a telephone company or something.
You talking about the phone?
Ameritech, yeah, Ameritech.
Like the payphone. Like you can go outside.
No.
Drop 50 cents in there.
I don't know what they're doing now, but they're doing something. Cause I know I saw a couple of bro. It's crazy because I looked down at the a manhole cover and it said Ameritech on there, and I was just like,
man said rebranded in a massive way.
No massive way.
You know, said we just give you what you want as we proceed to give you what you need. Yo.
Hey, you want to know something though? Nextel's chirps, they still got.
Are they coming? I'm waiting. They're gonna come back.
And then here's the thing: it gotta be like federally funded though. Like it gotta be for like a construction business.
Bro,
like I went on Nextel trying to get a chirp. I was like, I heard chirps was back. I went looking. I'm like, yes, Yes. My high school years. Yes. They was like, yeah, so we need like contractor billing info. I'm like, what's all this? Like,
wait, why though?
because them the only people that, I guess if you're like a federal employee for some reason, that's like the only way you can get them. Like you got to be a federal employee. Yeah, a government employee.
I'm not gonna lie though, we should look into this. Like seeing how we can figure it out. Like get around it, something like that.
Get a chirp?
Chirping y'all would be hilarious.
No.
I want chirp.
Chirps are obnoxious, bro.
They are.
Back in the day, they were fun. Thinking about it now,
hey, no,
imagine
listen, first of all, they've always been obnoxious. They've always been obnoxious. They just are fun. They just were fun because you didn't care.
That's a strong word.
Imagine. Okay, here's the test about if you want some. Here's the test to know if something's obnoxious or not. If you was in the right room full of all white people, how would they look at you? Okay, the more egregious they look at you, the more obnoxious the thing is. Okay, and that's all I know.
Went to the extreme option. I was just gonna sit up there and make an example of. Imagine you having a hard day at work and you're on a train or a bus coming back, and you just hear nothing but chirps the whole ride. Would that piss you off? And you just want peace and quiet?
Do they come with AirPods now?
And I think my man is on to something.
What? That would defeat the purpose of being a chirp if you can have it through your AirPods.
No, it wouldn't.
The whole purpose of a chirp is to be like a walkie-talkie to have that little sound.
Then you have a little headphone thing that you can hear it.
And now can't nobody come through your phone and say something reckless and leave you in that situation feeling awkward.
But you still yelling at the phone. Y'all don't understand.
Oh, so your problem is the yelling into the phone.
It's both.
Oh, my problem is the noise. Cause that thing is wild obnoxious. It's wild invasive for no reason. Like it's it's a disturbing tone. It is. It's not,
I had fun with them. Man, I used to get in trouble. My brother and sister them used to chirp me in class, get my phone took, but it was genius. It was a great prank.
No, it was smart. It's smart for sure. No, it was dope. It was good.
Like,
But why did your phone get taken away though? Because it was obnoxious. And that's all I'm saying, bro. But remember that, bro. The test always, if you want to know how obnoxious something is like that, just imagine yourself in an all-white establishment, and how many necks would turn around and look at you. That's how you know how obnoxious something is.
The funny thing about those phones is that the only memory I have of those is that all the rednecks in my high school had them.
What?
Only rednecks.
The rednecks? Dang, bro.
What was everybody else doing?
I don't know. Bro, sidekicks, bro.
Man.
Sidekicks.
No, sidekicks was later.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sidekicks was later.
Also, first of all, sidekicks never should have gone anywhere. If you really think about them,
sidekicks should have stayed around.
You had the Razor though.
You did.
Razor.
You did. The Motorola Razor.
Yeah.
Those were crazy.
I never had a Razor. I wanted one.
I ain't had one either.
Those were crazy, bro.
I had the LG chocolate.
No, the chocolates was fire too.
That was like the first MP3 phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember. It was was it the one with like the silver and the red type joint?
Yeah, I had the powder blue one. So it
okay.
but it slid upward.
Yeah. Okay. Word. Yeah.
I feel like we have to pause right quick and be like, this conversation only applies to people over the age.
If there are 3 zeros in your birth date, this conversation is not for you. If there's a 2 at the beginning of it, it is not for you.
Wait, they brought back the Razor.
Yeah, but what did it do though? Well, did they bring it back with screens on it, like on both sides or something like that? Is that the crazy thing? So it opened up and it was like a big old screen?
No, that Samsung had this really cool phone that was like you could flip it this way, or like it was the same flip, but it was like it's a touchscreen, so it became like a square.
Yeah, they still have it. Yeah, for sure. They just came out with that. Like,
I keep seeing that'd be kind of cool. I don't really understand how technology works. Your screen.
What was the Razor like? I'm about to check what the new Razor looked like.
Man, they just discontinued Blackberries, I think.
They just did.
Right.
Yeah, nobody cared about that.
Bro, I had a Blackberry.
Bro,
you did not have a pen. Did you use that pen?
No. So I didn't have that Blackberry. It was different Blackberries. Like it was one where you had one without the pen, like you just had the little ball in the middle or whatnot.
So I heard that one like malfunction like easily. Like if you broke that ball, it was it for that whole phone. It was
pretty much. But I didn't have that one. Like I had one that had like a thing in the middle, but it puts you in the mind of a little joystick. I don't know. It was weird. It's from T-Mobile.
I knew the BlackBerry was dead when the iPhone came out. I was like, it's only a matter of time for this thing's gone.
Which came first, the iPhone or the
Pod.
Right, but it was iPod, but it was the one that came after the iPod. It looked like an iPhone, but it didn't have no phone.
It was an iPod Touch.
Zoom?
There we go.
Oh. The Zoom?
No.
That's different. That's a different
It
company.
was-
But you're right. But
it was an iPod.
It was an iPod Touch because I had one.
They came out at the same time, right?
No. I think
iPhone came out first, and iPod Touch came out. Yeah, iPod Touch came out after.
Remember the iPod Shuffle?
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
You remember that
nice.
Nano?
Yeah,
You remember that?
Oh,
Nano?
the Nano, yeah.
Man, I was playing. Man, look, I had like 7 songs. It was all it was all Wayne and like one D4L song.
Yeah, I think I pretty much had Lil Wayne all of my shuffle too.
See, I didn't have that. Like, I had like a USB MP3 player, so it doubled as an MP3 and a USB. So I used to use it for school.
Yeah, those were hard. I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, but it only had like 158 megabytes worth of storage.
Right. But it was just hard though, because you could like, you have that, do it real fast, and it's like, okay, listen to music. Yo, what was the first song you remember getting on iTunes? Or like the first song you bought? Like,
See, I want to raise that bar. And what was the first song that you got off of LimeWire?
yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember LimeWire.
I don't know.
There were so many songs I got off LimeWire. There's no way I can remember the one. But the one for me, I think it was like Them Franchise Boy, Lean With It, Rock With It. That was like my first like.
You know, the like something to think about is kids nowadays won't ever have to like have the problem where all their friends have the fun phone and they don't, because there's not really a lot of the phones nowadays. They're all like, they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
For the most part, like my first phone was like this big, and everyone else had razors, and I always had to pull this like massive thing out of my pocket, and it was pretty much like a full phone. And that was so embarrassing because everyone else was like, I got the razor, and I was like, I got this fat phone on my head.
Like it's such a traumatic experience. You forgot the name of the phone. You're just like, I just don't even.
I remember it being really thick and big, and it had an antenna.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think
That's a
one.
Nokia. Was it a Nokia?
Yeah.
Probably
It was
Nokia.
usually, for me, it was like either Nokia or a Nextel, but yeah, it was like a break, bro.
Mine was the Nextel i835, I think.
Shoot, nowadays kids are like 7 and have an iPhone 13.
Bro, I was at my niece's.
You are not looking up the i8.
I was at my niece's graduation. This was like years ago. It was about like maybe like 7, 8 years ago. And like I think it was like
That's fire.
I think it was for her to go into high school or something. Like it was an 8th grade graduation. Or maybe it was, I don't know, bro. She was young. But we went out to eat. I think they're like Applebee's or something like that. And they were giving her gifts. And all the gifts that she was getting, I was just like, what are you going to do with all of this? Like she had, like they gave her like the newest iPhone. They gave her like a new MacBook, like all of these things. And I'm like, who are you talking to? What are you doing? Like now I understand, like that's a stupid question. Like people are on Facebook and everything else like that. But for her at that age, like she wouldn't even own that. And
That's why I don't understand when people give their kids like Jordans and like, that kid's gonna wear those shoes for like 2 months and then grow out of them, and then you just wasted $80 on a pair of kids Jordans.
I ain't gonna lie.
You're that person.
I bought my daughter some Jordans, right?
Yeah.
And I told her, I gave her specified instruction. Let her play in dirt in them shoes. Run them shoes into the ground. I done paid all that money. She better run them. They better be balled up the next time I see her. She better been played, jumped some kids. She better when they kick the mud puddle, them shoes better be unrecognizable. I'm like, nah, I ain't paying all that for you to just look pretty in them. No.
Yeah.
No, go kick a brick or something. Not really.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And my kids are gonna get hand-me-downs, thrift store, shoes I find anywhere under $10 until they're like 13.
They're solid though.
see, I don't have that option.
Cause your big kids
Yeah,
gonna be big.
man, my kids. Listen, dog. If the kids get my jeans, yeah, it ain't gonna be.
What
like
size
that.
shoe you wear?
We ain't doing that.
What if they don't?
Okay. What if they don't get you jeans?
Then that's cool. They can get exactly how you doing. Like, look, thrift store, all that. Like, it's cool. We can go and get new stuff at the same time. We can get, it's cool. Whatever. I mean, like, I'm not one of those type of parents. Well, I'm not one of those type of people that like I have to have like all the flashiest clothes. Like, I didn't grow up with that.
What do you mean by parent?
I like that in you. No, but like, yeah, I didn't grow up with all like the fancy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm into technology and stuff, so I tend to splurge on that because that's just where my interests lie. But as far as clothes and stuff, I care less, man.
What about you, Cam? You got your kids them Jordans, Versace slippers.
Never that. I feel like I might buy them for the picture's sake. So it's like if we're like we matching up for the picture's sake. Okay, cool. That's it though. Like otherwise, something regular. But I don't know if I'm like. I mean, Payless is gone, and like that was like I don't even know if that'll be the move no more. I don't even know.
Payless gone, Shirt and Shoes Outlet's gone.
Payless is gone now.
Yeah, Payless is gone. Yeah. So I don't know. It's Walmart. It's Walmart shoes now. So it's like you either get shoes at Foot Locker or you get shoes at Walmart.
No, you got like TJ Maxx, right?
Ross.
Yeah,
Ross,
TJ Maxx.
That's like the same thing though. It's like
I mean, depending on where you live in the city, thrift stores got.
It's just hard because sneakers have gotten to the point where it's like a real thing now. So like it wasn't before too, but like now it's like yo, like I ain't trying to send my kid to get bullied. You feel me? But it builds character, but also like you know.
I wanted to say it's so cliche though.
Yeah, but yeah.
I say like up until like 6th or 7th grade, no one cares about shoes. Maybe now more, but when I was growing up, like I remember I bought some Nikes, like camo Nikes when I was in 7th grade, and I remember walking in and like people noticing my shoes, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
gotcha, yeah.
I was like, wow, like people will notice me because I have nice shoes on. But like before that, like it was whatever. I didn't care because I was doing whatever.
I figured it out for myself. I'm gonna get my kids Air Force Ones beginning of every year. They can run into the dirt the entire year.
Get the black one.
No. I'm not raising menaces to society. I refuse to do that.
You just want people to think that.
No.
And then your kids be the opposite, so they beat the stereotype. That's
because we don't know what happens when one black Air Force One meets another black Air Force One. Okay. Only bad things can happen from that point on. Okay.
Movable object.
Unmovable. Yeah. Yeah. We don't want to know what that looks like, bro. Next thing you know, I gave it to them like that. Then they meet somebody with the all black Air Force Ones, and they realize, oh, we're one and the same. And now we're connected. And my kids ain't built that way. They're not gonna be built. They're gonna be built like me, and I'm not built like that. Okay. So they're not gonna. I'm not gonna let them get corrupted by the all black Air Force One, bro. I won't.
That's fair, but I think like I think the buying clothes game and everything, like I think that. I ain't gonna let them get corrupted. I think the drawback of that is like people don't want their kids get talked about and whatnot in school. It's gonna happen regardless, but
that's facts.
At the same time, it's just like. At what point do you stop though? Because like that's an expensive thing to keep up. Because if your kid gonna get clowned because they ain't got the fresh you bought them shoes.
That's
cool.
True. That's a good point.
Now,
you're making a very good point right now.
Now, what about the shirts? What about the hoodies? What about this and that? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh well, because it goes beyond clothes now. Because back when we was coming up, we didn't have cell phones in school. Now that's a normal thing to have. Now it's just
you're on
like
blast all the time. Like. You're always in someone's video shot if you want to be or not, you know, like, especially like middle school or high school, you got everyone like taking selfies and like taking TikTok videos of them dancing. And you don't know if you're going to walk into the video. And then if you're wearing like some raggedy shoes and everything.
Yeah, this culture is a little cold, man.
It is, bro.
And then and then that's going to reach the internet. And then the next thing you know, they're not going to care about the original person that posted the video. They're just going to zoom in on your child. Looking crazy.
Okay.
And then your child's gonna be TikTok famous, but not in a good way.
I'm gonna try to send my kids somewhere where they got uniforms, bro.
Man,
I hated that as a kid.
Keep it easy.
Yes.
I hated it because like I wanted to dress how I wanted to dress, but now looking back at it, that was probably that was a good idea.
So why is young man right here, man?
Yeah, this nigga's gonna be built different.
Send him with a uniform here.
I hated that too, but as a parent, I could see that being like the most amazing thing ever because you're like, I don't have to buy you the clothes because you're wearing the same thing every day.
Man, cost efficient.
Except Jean Day. When Jean Day roll around, that's a whole different story. Son,
Shoot, I don't even. My brother's school had uniforms. They never had no jean day.
Son, we had jean day, and when jean day rolled around, bro, you would have thought it was like the Easter, but for like jeans and casual
Everybody
stuff,
just came out fly,
fresh, bro,
Yo.
fresh, man. And I'm just looking like, jeez.
Did y'all have to wear the same shoes too?
Dress for the
dress code? Yeah.
Yeah, black shoes, black dress shoes.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, when
No.
No, you could just wear whatever shoes.
Yeah.
I went to school like that in 4th grade, and now thinking back, I'm like, I was 4th grade, but in 4th grade, I was like, this is so dumb. Like, why am I wearing a uniform? But I was like 10. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like.
That's how you. That's how you know you built different. That's how you're just like, what is going on, yo? I'm not gonna be a part of the machine. Like, what's going on?
It was a red collared shirt, like red polo, and it was like a weird texture. I don't like it. It was like a really rough texture, and then khaki shorts, black shoes.
Khaki shorts.
I'm trying to imagine like a 10-year-old you just in the yard, like you're all sheeple. We must not conform. That was so funny.
Down in Florida.
Khaki shorts.
Khaki shorts.
Yo, no, son.
With red?
What was the shoes?
I think black shoes.
Like black any shoes, or like
I can't remember.
Because if y'all had to wear black dress
It was
shoes,
black Air Force Ones, everyone.
Yes. Yes. That's
Can you imagine
I'm
going up to
about to
that school and every kid there is wearing black Air Force Ones?
oh.
Khakis and a red polo.
I'd be like, man, my kid about to get mugged today. That's wild, yo. Who get jumped in today.
You're
That's
about to
crazy.
get mugged by a bunch of kids.
Right.
Can I tell you, I went my whole life without knowing about that Air Force One thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was like 19,
Yeah.
and I had some black Air Forces, and somebody made a joke about them. I don't remember the joke, but I remember not getting it. And then, like, just years later, I finally understand. And I'm like, oh, that was racist.
I remember feeling like 13 or 14, it was instinctive. Like nobody, like I didn't know it was a thing like for everybody until years later. But it was instinctive for me. Like as a kid, it was just like, man, anybody in all black Air Force Ones is not somebody I'm trying to try.
What?
no, I mean, like if you think about it, like the school, like when you went to school, like you had like the stereotypical articles of clothing that you knew that the person was just, they always was just that kid, you know?
Yeah, that kid, yeah. The combination also came with the permanently red fingers from all the hot Cheetos they've been eating. You know what I mean? Like that was also like that's also part of the uniform of that person. You know what I mean? If they have a white shirt that they wear to school for the uniform, it's got some kind of stain on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is not, but that's just what it was. Like,
You didn't mess with the girl with the high ponytail and the hot Cheeto finger.
Exactly.
And that jacket.
That fat what, not fat farm. Why do I want to say fat
Baby
farm?
fat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby fat jacket.
No, you don't want to mess
Well,
with her.
she's gonna treat your whole life.
Exactly.
Oh.
She was always
Exactly.
angry.
Well, why was that the uniform for that type of girl, though? That's a real question, right?
I don't know, bro. Like
It's really the thing.
I feel like they just had a meeting and it was like, all right, y'all.
Exactly, because what I really think about, there was no television character or movie character that made that a thing. It just happened one day. Like it just happened, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay.
Or buddy with the hoodie with the black do-rag. Never mind. That must have just been me.
No,
Nah.
I feel like bro, it's a bunch of them, bro.
I mean, but he was always in the cut though. Like he was always in the cut, and you just didn't talk. You just let him be, because you ain't trying to see what happens if you try. Okay, so I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah.
This is sad.
Yeah. We stereotyping our own people, right?
They're like, we
Right.
know.
Like, what do you think about
I was gonna say you went to high school in LA. You guys went to high school in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
My high school is in the middle of like a small, middle nowhere high school in Central Florida, and the demographics were like things were just different down there. A lot of rednecks. I think the craziest thing to me is that when I came back from Germany, like the majority of the black people in Germany are from France. So I come down to Central Florida, southern, like I think it was like the most black people I've ever seen in my life was at my high school, because in Germany it wasn't it wasn't really that many black people in this, like around. I had one friend that was black in Germany, he was French.
Mm.
So like you guys talking about like these like stereotypes and things. Like it was way different for me down there because I don't think I really like paid attention to any of that. There was so much other things going on. I had to like get used to a whole nother culture.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man, I feel that. Yo, we didn't even introduce you. Yo, welcome to another episode of Reset the Vibe Podcast.
Yo.
I'm one of your hosts. I'm Vash.
D.
Cam.
I like that.
It's kind of smooth.
I like that.
I was on time today.
And we had a special guest today. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a special guest. We got a special guest here today. My roommate.
Yo.
We got Yannick in the building. What's good, Yannick?
We need that sound.
Chum. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
It's nice to have you, bro. It's nice to have you. Yannick, you do music. Music is a passion for you. So I don't want to shortchange you, but what is it that you do in the music space exactly?
Music production and music engineering. So mixing, mastering, and any sort of production based. I don't really play any instruments. If there's a piano around, I'll mess around on piano. If there's a guitar around, I'll mess around on the guitar. But professionally, I don't play instruments. I don't want to learn sometime. I think when I was younger, I played a lot of piano. My mom taught me piano, so I understand some scales, chords. I can read some music. I can hear. I think my hearing has just gotten better. I'm mixing now for a year and a half, like as a job. So spend a lot of time on headphones and on monitors. But yeah, I don't play any other instruments really. A lot of in the box stuff like on the computer.
Can you remember like the first song that like inspired you? Like if you had to like, I know it's like probably a question that like gave you time to think about, but like if you think of a song or like a that you heard that you're just like, oh man, like that's like that inspired me. Like I want to create something because I heard this.
There's a good amount of songs, but I think one of the songs I think that pops in my head is "Above the Clouds" by Gangstar.
Okay.
Yeah. I would just DJ Premier. I think was one of the first people that I had looked up to figure out, or him or Ninth Wonder. One of them just wanted to understand what that was all about. I didn't understand sampling. Like I didn't even know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed that people were like creating these like records, like a bunch of musicians in a room creating these songs. It's pretty fascinating to there's a website that you can check out called whosampled.com, and you can look up any song, what it samples, or whatever. It's a pretty cool website. But my wife now is starting to catch on to samples. She's like, oh, she was like, let's do like a rap record. And she's like, yo, I heard that somewhere. And then she was like, oh, this is that person. And I'm like, that's right.
proud moment for you, proud husband moment. For sure.
So as a music producer and engineer, I like to say in this moment, you the one that make the magic happen. Like without rappers, lyricists, it's cool. But I know like one of the running jokes in hip hop is Nas is the worst beat picker all the time. But he makes the music better because it's lyricism.
Right.
But I think as producers, y'all are the ones we really like. Outside of the lyrics, it's music that moves. So it's the sound that moves. So being an engineer, like what is it like for you when you play music? Like when you're creating, what is that like for you? Is it I don't know how to say it. I don't think it would be tedious, but is it like what goes into your creative process? Like how is it? Like is it like do you look for a certain sound, or do you just like listen for what might come and inspire you, or Is it something that you just like play around with till you find it out? Like, kind of what goes into your?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to say that I don't think I've ever heard the Nas thing before because.
Oh really?
No.
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
All right, but his like lately his like collaboration with Hit Boy, yeah. Those are, I feel like he found a nice like connection, like a nice glue there with him. Like whatever they're doing together is working out. But no, so we need to talk about this on the way home.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
No, to be honest, I couldn't tell.
Nah, yeah.
Like listening to that, I couldn't tell. I didn't know. They're like, oh, he the worst beat picker. I'm like,
but when you hit King's Disease 1, 2, and then Magic, you're looking at it and you're like, yo, this man, how is this man hitting like he's in his prime at the ages he's at? And it's partly because he has a new producer now. Yeah. And so it's like super cool, like to see it, because it's like, yeah, like there's so many tracks of Nas that were like he was spitting, but the track just didn't make you feel nothing. And now he's with Hit Boy. It's like, oh, when I listen to all three of those albums, haven't seen a single skip yet, and that's unheard of. And everybody talking about how great Nas is. I'm like, feel like this is finally our time getting to see like Nas is how great like Nas really is, because all of his beats are on fire. Last time he did that was Illmatic, and everybody loves Illmatic. That was the last time every beat, he had all the right producers on that and stuff like that. And that's why that album works so greatly. But working with Hit Boy, man, it's been fire. I love listening to those tracks and those projects.
Yeah, I mean, I just listened to Magic all the way through like a week ago. I didn't even know it came out.
Yeah.
Usually I'm pretty like up to date with things, but I think I had switched my Instagram accounts recently, and I started this whole new one, and I've stopped following a bunch of like people like that kept me up to date with like all the music stuff. But that's a whole nother thing. But back to your like question about production, it often comes down to like inspiration, like what I'm listening to, how I'm feeling, what's going on in my life, kind of thing. I think the first like album that I released, a lot of those songs were made at like 2 a.m. because I was really strung out, stressed out, and just a rough patch at the time. And so there's a lot of like pain and emotion poured into those. But then there's other beats that I've made for people, and I'm just like in a good mood, and been like, I made this beat the other day on my lunch break. Like I work. It's not a weird thing for me to say, because I think for most people, lunch break, you don't make a beat on your lunch break. I work out my desk with my monitors and whatnot. But on my lunch break, I made this beat, and I had just like skimmed through Lecrae's new album, which is like him and 1K Few are just like riding this like trap new like wave, whatever.
I agree.
It's like that whole album is like that. Not my forte. I'm not a big fan of that music. Like it's like hype music, and like I feel like it'd be fun to like listen to working out or whatever, but I can't casually listen to it. It's not my like music I would like choose to listen to. But I made a track like that, and I think it's because I had listened to like half of the album on the way to work, so I had that like energy, and I was just like, I just made this thing real quick, and it sounded good. It was fun to make. And then there's other days when you have like beat block, it's like writer's block. You just sit down and you're just trying, and nothing works out, and you're just like, well, that's it. And you just like close on the computer and then leave. There's very few times when I like push through when I have stuff like that happen, and I managed to like squeeze something out, but I try not to push it, because it all comes down to like inspiration and how you're feeling in the moment. And because music is like, I think sometimes we forget that there's so much emotion put into music, even like beats that you hear, like Megan,
Stallion?
yeah, even like that music, like there's someone behind it making that music, and they're like, whatever they're doing, they're pouring whatever energy they had, whatever emotion they have into that song. They could be going through some serious like drama at home, and then they come and pour out that energy into that song, and then that's what you get in that like song, whatever. So there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot more that goes into it than just like someone sitting down and like, you know, making a beat.
For sure.
I feel you. So let me ask you this then: how'd you get started with all of this? Like, what was like, yo, I want to get involved with this. I want to do this.
I was just talking to, I went on a staff retreat 2 weeks ago, and they were wondering like, what was your first like hip hop record? And I was like, I had a crush on this girl, and when I was living in Germany, and her and her friends were listening to Chris Brown. I never heard of Chris Brown before. I was like, I like that music. Something about that record sounds really good. So I started listening to Chris Brown, and then that was my introduction to the urban music scene. And then from there, I think I ventured into like hip hop, and from hip hop, I found out about electronic and drum and bass and all these other genres. And then I think when I was in high school, or like end of high school, I think because of skateboarding, a lot of skate videos had, like hip hop songs in them. So I got introduced to a lot of music through skate videos. So one of my favorite skate parts from this guy called Wes Kramer is Pete Rock and Seal Smooth. It's the Troy. They reminisce of you.
Hey, the classic. That's the ultimate classic for sure.
That's the first time I heard that song, and I was just like, I downloaded that right away. And then from there, I was just listening to that music, and I had somewhere along the way picked up like Logic and GarageBand. I was like playing around, and I really enjoyed like creating something. And like I'm an artist, so it was like another outlet for me to like be creative. But I didn't really know like what it meant, and then or like what there was to it. I didn't like even like the mixing stuff, like that was like way over my head at the time. For me, it was more like, oh, it's cool, like beat pads and keys and like it was not as accessible as it is now. Like YouTube, you can find anything. I think when I was 21, I was in New Jersey, and my friend and I met this guy at a Best Buy, and he talked to us about production, and then that's how I got introduced to Reason, which is like another software. Then I worked in Reason for 10 years, and I just learned everything I could about it, learned about production and a little bit of mixing, and then I just started putting music out. Yeah, that was the beginning. But a lot of the beginning stuff was sample based because I was so passionate about hip hop and sampling. I just wanted to know everything about it and I wanted to make beats that like people could like rock with, and like because at the time everyone was just freestyling. Like when you're like 18 to like 25, everyone's always freestyling all the time for some reason. Yeah. Everyone's a rapper.
Right. That's fair enough.
No matter where you're at, if you at like a bar or a party or a club, whatever, there's always one person that's like, yo, you make beats? Let me rap on it, you know, like all the time. It was not a bad thing, but that was just, I wanted to make beats sound like people were like, yo, this is dope.
Sure. I don't know. When it comes to like the creative process, do you have any instruments you're more inclined to use, like when you make your music? Like for one, I think Mascot, that flute changed. I'm gonna be honest, that flute kind of changed. Like if that song was just the beat, like without it, I don't think it would have been what it was.
No, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's like the incorporation of like just different musical instruments, especially being a person who plays an instrument. Like me, is like once you mix that in, it's like it gives it a whole different sound. So like for you and your process, have you found that to be true for you, or are you more inclined to use a certain instrument like in your music?
I lately just been using anything I get my hands on and try to tweak it. I think a couple weeks ago I tried to squeeze an accordion into a record because it had this like vibe to it that kind of fit. I don't think I ever would have tried to do that before. I think music instruments, if you piece them together right, you can make something pretty epic. And I think a lot of people, like with social media, people try to ride waves for so long because that's where the views are, that's where the money is at. People shy away from like trying to be different. They just want to fit into like a scene or whatever. So I think once you kind of get out of that and you're like, I don't want to chase one genre, like that song that I made on my lunch break the other day or yesterday or whatever, I threw flute in there because that was the type of beat I was making. It was a sample, like it was some kind of like trap type melody sample I found. I looped it, put some like heavy 808s on there and a flute, and the drums were just like really steady, like a 808 clap, I think, like really simple, like, and the flute fit, you know. But I could also use a flute on like some chill experimental electronic song and just put a lot of reverb and like put it out there and make a lot of space and like somehow create a texture with it. And it serves a different purpose then. It's not like a lead, it's more like a texture, and it kind of puts you in a space. Like it, and like the Mascot song with the flute, that's like the main lead, that's like what is moving the song. So it really kind of comes down to how you're using the instrument.
That's a great point. I don't think I've ever seen it. I ain't never seen it like that, but that's right. It was leading the song. It's like, well, like I listen to a lot of, well, I ain't gonna say a lot, not anymore, but I used to listen to like a lot of lo-fi. So, but that was more like when I was in like community college, and you know I had work and stuff to do. It helped me focus. So it's like when it comes to certain kind of music, I've always been drawn because music has been a big portion of my life. I think most people, yeah, but it was like from a standpoint of being like a bit introverted, it was just like music. Cause like I think like one of the first rap songs I heard that I remember like that was just like influential. I remember my dad was playing like Project Pat in his car, and I was just like, but what is he talking? What's a chicken? What is that? Like, you know, like, so like my little mind is just trying to wrap my head around all this stuff. And then like I went and found his CD stash, so he had like Too Short. So I would have got in trouble if he would have called me, but I was like just playing like Too Short and Mr. Don't Play, and you know, all of these things. So then music became a big part of my life. But like, and then it's like I don't know if y'all ever heard of footworking, right? No.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So like the way that they do.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Cause you ain't look this way, okay? You ain't look this way. I felt neglected. Go ahead.
Because I just knew you knew. It wasn't even a point to ask. But then when you was like, "What's footworking?" It was like, but do y'all ever listen to their music? Like
no.
The way.
I mean, like I just have never had a reason to.
Maybe someday.
That's fine.
Man, I wish I could play that right now, but that'd be copyright.
But yeah,
take the video down. But no, like I'll play it after.
Yeah, don't worry. After pod, I was going somewhere with it, but if y'all never heard it, it makes no sense. We
Okay.
go this way.
All right,
yeah.
I got questions. It's okay. What do you feel like is the most important song you've ever made? Like, yeah, what's the most important song? Was it important to you or important to like get out? Like, what's the most important song you think you've ever made?
In 2020, I made a song for my grandma. She passed away, and I think I just poured. I didn't really know how to react to it. It was like one of those things. It was like sudden. And I love my grandma, but it was my grandma. She passed away, and it's not like, I don't know. I feel weird about it because I feel like some people like really have really strong like ties to their grandparents. And like I love my grandparents, but for some reason I wasn't like so shook about it. It was just like, oh, I'm really upset that they're gone, but like life keeps going, you know. And so I made this track, and I think in the track I think I expressed my emotion in that, how I felt, and it's not like it's like a electronic kind of song. And then at the end of the song, I have my mom record like some thoughts about my grandma. I think she said something like, you've seen my kids grow up, you've seen some of my grandkids grow up, but you're just gone too soon. So that was a really emotional, it was a pretty important song, I feel like, in my collection of music I released. Yeah.
Fair enough.
For sure. So when it comes to like music, like who would you like? What would be your ideal person to work with? Like top of the charts, no holds barred, across any genre. Who would you like to work with?
I haven't thought about this in a while. I think probably because lately my mind's been so much around mixing and not so much like artists. I think at a time I had artists in mind that I wanted to work with, but I think I've been focusing my music more in like the electronic like genre that like there's not really anyone I can think of right now like from an artist point of view that I would want to work with.
Producers?
But like I think there's the two people I can think of right now is either be in a room and like have a conversation with Rick Rubin, just kind of like hearing and listening to like his process and watching him work. I don't even know if I want to even work with him. I just want to be there. Just like I want to see how he does things. And then there's this big, really famous mixing engineer called Dave Pensado, and I think just to be sitting in with him too, just watch how he mixes a record. I think lately I've been a lot more, interested in mixing. I mean, I've been producing a bunch. I have an album, hopefully out end of February. Currently like mixing and mastering them right now. But yeah, I think because of work, because I've been mixing so much, that's all I really think about. It's like how can I get the best possible mix out of the song? So like I'll make a song and then I'll be like, that's a cool song, I really like how it sounds, but like how can I make this like the most perfect version of it, as opposed to like 2 years ago I was like, I made a dope song, I'll do a good mix and then put it out and hopefully people will like it. Now it's like, all right, I made a dope song, but how can I make it sound professional quality and people are like, dang, who mixed and mastered this, you know? Be like, oh, I produced it and mixed and mastered it, it's me, you know? I did everything.
Yeah, it's on game.
So, as
almost threw some signs that I thought maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't. That's on game though. Talk your stuff, King. There you go.
as
So I'm not the plug, I'm the socket. Let's go.
As the role for all of artists, I like to ask this question, especially when we have a guest such as yourself on. What is something about the process that you hate? Or maybe hate maybe is too strong of a word, that you dislike outside of writer's block, because that's a given.
The middle. The middle of the process.
What's the middle of the process consist of?
I mean, like at the beginning, you start off and you're just on fire. You're like, man, this is dope. At the end, you're like, I finished. Sounds dope. Everything came together. No matter where it is, painting, whatever. But in the middle, you're just in the trenches, and you're trying to figure out like where it's gonna go. And I feel like those are like the most important decisions you make with whatever you're creating is the middle. It's the hard part, you know. I don't like that part. I think oftentimes when I'm painting murals, I start, I'm like, oh, this is looking dope on the wall, and then, at the end, I'm like, wow, man, this is dope. It came out nice. But in the middle, I'm like, I think I'm gonna quit and go home. This is stupid. Why am I here?
I feel like that was low key one of the most profound things I've heard in a long time. I'm gonna have to put it on back.
The middle.
The middle.
When you gotta decide the direction of the middle. I think I don't know, man. I'm not I guess mine would be like when I start to look over, like, so let's say if I'm writing poetry, like once I gotta reread it, I'm like, this is directionless. Like I need to, this gotta, like it was a bunch of flowing, but it don't tie, if it don't tie in anywhere, if it don't have a point to it, then I'm like, nah, I gotta scrap this, write something else. Cause I think the best part of the process is, like you said, when you're on fire, like if I write a short poem and I'm on fire, it's like once it's done, it's like, oh, I know that I'm gonna put this, like this is going right in. But if it's like something, like I want to make a point about something or I have an idea, then once I reread over it, and once I start seeing all the mistakes or logically trying to reason against my own statements, then it becomes like something I'm willing to like just fall up for scrap. And then that's like really hard because it's like, man, I kind of liked it though when it was, I see where I was trying to go, but it ain't there yet. Like amongst other things, any other artistic talents I might have is more so starting, like just getting to the point of starting. Like with poetry, it kind of flows, but with anything else, it's more like starting the process of doing, whatever it is. Like if I'm like, I used to sketch when I was a kid, like most kids, and my brother applied for Gallery 13. It was this really popular artistic school here in Chicago, or program really. But I saw him drawing, and it made me draw. So then it was like I did this really, to me, to fifth grade me, it was a really dope sketch of Mufasa. But I'm like, this ain't enough to get in. Like I just don't have that. So it was like, well, I would every now and then I just sketch things out, like sceneries or something. If I like something, like I might see, like picture in my mind like a mountain in a forest. So I'll try to sketch it out as best as I can. But wanting to act on that prompting to do it is like some of the hardest things for me.
For me, it's interesting because he mentioned the middle. The middle is challenging. I ain't gonna hold you. It is. It's challenging. I particularly don't like towards the end, not the end, but towards the end. Because I'm at the point right now where I'm on my second draft of my novel, and I hate looking at it. I hate opening it up, looking at it, and it's just like, why don't you just fix yourself? I want to be done with you already. I started you almost over a year ago, and it's just like I've been doing this and that with you. You've grown, and it's just like can't you just take care of yourself already? Like, so yeah, I would say at that point it's towards the end for me. And it don't just go for like the novel. It went for my poetry books as well. Like just trying to wrap it up and tighten up poems and things like that, and like the structure of the poem, like what's gonna start the book, what's gonna end the book, like all of those sorts of things. Like to me, like that's, I guess hate would be too much of a strong word. I highly dislike it. I don't hate it. because at the end of the day, it's making me better and it's making the book better or whatever I'm working on better. But I highly dislike it. I just wanted to take care of itself, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like for me it's the middle and the end, low-key, because in the beginning I'm excited and I'm like gung-ho, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be it. In the middle, I met with the reality of like, oh man, like this is what it's really looking like, and what was in my brain is not necessarily what I'm thinking is gonna exactly come out. And I'm now having to be tactical, and so amidst trying to enjoy the process, I'm having to be extremely strategic and tactical within my approach and looking at it in every way and picking it apart on how it can be better. And so then we get to the end, and I'm exhausted from the middle, and the end isn't exactly what I was hoping for. It's close, but even to that, it's so close to the extent that I don't know that it could ever get any better, any closer to what I heard in my head. But I'm feeling like I'm not sure if this is gonna connect or not, which is something I'm low-key figuring out. That I'm realizing that like everybody's got their own voice, and so everybody got to be themselves. That's all you can be. And so I'm finding a little more solace in that now. But there definitely was the early seasons of like, oh, like I just hate the middle. I hate the recording. Y'all know this. I hate the having to re-record myself every time. I can't, like, because if I start like rapping and I miss a line in the middle of recording like that, I'm sick with myself. And so I'm mad at myself, and I'm going at it for like an hour trying to get it, like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get it right. And so that starts becoming like exhausting and draining. Because every time you miss it, like there's waves of, every time you miss it, you either lose a little bit of confidence or you gain some confidence, or you lose it and you just go in and out of it like that. And so the middle is extremely exhausting.
Man, I think you started something. Like the middle, it's like some of yeah. I don't know, man. Like I think with everything I've ever created, I wanted a mic drop ending.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's so hard. It's like chasing. Like I let me say this. Let me think this out. I would liken it to capturing that what's that thing?
Lightning in the bottle?
No. From Harry Potter. What was the little thing? The little
Snitch?
Yeah.
Snitch,
Snitch or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So it's like catching that like finally getting it, like
getting the snitch.
Getting the
You
snitch.
don't like that it's called a snitch now, do you?
Ooh, that's hard. Like, what you doing? I'm trying to get the snitch. Like, that sounds a little aggressive. But I think I just like when it comes to creating, I want that mic drop ending on everything I do, and it sucks when I don't. It sucks when I don't. Like I wrote a poem, I sent it to him, and I was just like, yo, this is it. But it's rare that I have them, this is it. Like the other ones, I'll be like, this is stupid.
I'm looking trying to realize that like trying to hit with haymakers every time is just not real. Like nobody does that. Like nobody hits with haymakers every time they throw a punch. So like just throw the jab. Like, and that's what I'm trying to like figure out. It's like, man, it's okay to throw a jab. It's okay to throw a jab. That's it. It helps. The jab is helping.
References.
You know what I mean? The jab helps for you to open up to get the haymaker, but you gotta throw the jab at some point. You know what I mean? You can't just come out swinging. And so like I'm realizing that like even with like the songs that I want to put out and stuff like that, I'm like, this doesn't feel like a haymaker, but maybe I should just put it out anyway, and let it be the jab that it's going to be, and figure itself out from that point on. You know what I mean? So
the funny thing to me though is that I think the majority of the stuff that I've released, I've always been like, this is dope. I think this is it, you know. And then and like a week later, I'm like, nah, that's not it. I shouldn't have put that on the album.
Yo, no, I feel that, cause like it's interesting that you bring that up, Darius, cause like I feel like for us, we want to throw haymakers out, and like Cam said, you got to throw jabs in there, but with trying to have that mic drop thing, sometimes what we would consider a haymaker or a mic drop to everybody else is like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because I've had poems in my books, and I'm just like, yo, that's fire. That's what people are gonna be talking about. And it's always the poems that I was just like, all right, this is cool. I'm happy with it.
Yep.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying?
That, yeah.
Like it ain't bad, but you know, like it ain't this over here.
Right.
But this ain't bad. And they always talk about the one that's like cool to me, because you also got to understand that art is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So what's great and dope to you may not necessarily be what it is to everybody else.
That's why you should just release it, because you never know. Like, the crazy thing about music to me is that I'll work on a song for like all day. Be like, man, this song like means everything to me. And then I'll make a song the next day in like 10 minutes, and I'll show both of them to someone, and they're like, yo, that one is fire. And they're talking about the 10-minute one. I'm like, I wasn't even trying. Like, it just happened. Like, I was just like messing around. The mix is terrible. It's just a stupid beat, and you like that one. I spent like 3-4 hours on that one. I perfected the mix, and you're like, it's okay. You know, it's like, it's weird. I think what that it might be is that in those moments when you're just like throwing a jab is when you're probably the most authentic, because you're not thinking too much about it.
That's a great point.
I like that.
And it's hard to like think of it like that all when you're creating, because you're putting yourself out there. So you're like, I want to put the best of me out there. But I think the best of you happens when you're not thinking about it, because you're just you. You know?
That's interesting, because now I'm thinking about when we were making Slide Through that, and like I liked all the things that I did on that album, and all of those were moments where we were just having fun, and it just wasn't overthought. Like, all of those songs I thought were like pretty legit, and it was just like we just really didn't. It wasn't hard. Like, it was just like, oh, we're just gonna throw it in there, like, you know.
Yeah, like Juan's pillow progression.
Yeah, there's a song in the album
It's a
called
song with
I'll Stay.
Alia.
Yeah, no, that's the I'll Stay one where he goes to that's what it is. Yeah. And the song, the first song I think on the album Slide Through that we worked on together, and we had a travel pillow, and we were like Julia's travel pillow, something like that, and our boy Juan was just chilling, and he just started slapping it, and it just made a good sound, and he was just like, hey, record that. And so the song opens with that noise, but you would never believe me if I told you that was a travel pillow. Like, he just slapping his travel pillow.
He was just chilling on the couch, like laying back, just like vibing to the song on the pillow, like. And I was sitting on the computer, and I was like, yo, that's dope. Yo, Juan, come over here, you're on the mic. And then I was like, do it on the mic. And then we recorded on the mic, and then that became like the main percussive piece of the record.
Yeah, bro. It was just dope, bro. It was organic, and it just worked. But that was interesting. And you thinking, I immediately thought of Slide Through, and I was like, bro, everything we did on that was just like in the moment, and enjoyed it while it was there and stuff like that. And that was what was fun about it, and it was actually like enjoyable. And I thought a lot of people enjoyed. Same thing with the tracks, like that tracks on that, the tracks on there that people liked were always like ones that like was like, oh, they probably like this one, like they like that one. Oh, like everybody liked different ones. And it was like, oh, okay. It's interesting when you actually allow yourself to just be free in it, that how it actually can be like freeing.
That's crazy. When you release something, there's always different people that like different things that you release. Like you said, like some people like this, some people like that. For me, I'm always like, oh man, I think this is the best record on the album, and only like 2 people like, I love that song, and everyone else like, I like this one, and you're like, but why?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I think you said something that a lot of people don't really understand at the deeper level. When you just do it, it's the authentic you. When it's just that one, and like that actually freed some up into me, because it's just like I realized when the masterpieces that we work on, it's typically a blend of the complexities of who we are, which is why a lot of people might not get it, or a lot of people might not understand why this is your favorite poem, because you took the time in your mind to place everything in its proper place. But it's with the complexities of who you are and the layers of your identity as a person. But when you just write, it's that authentic you. I don't think, like, I've never thought about it like that, but that's so freeing, because it's like, dang, like that's what you answered a question you didn't even know I had, kind of thing. And it's just like, man, that's what that is. And so, man, thank you Thank you. I would say that live. I don't care. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for real. It's
Thank you.
Yeah, no, because he just broke it down even more, and like that it hit me on a whole nother level.
Man, this.
That was a good one. That was a
Man.
good one. We potting.
Man.
We potting, baby.
We potting.
Fine,
Because
bro.
if you think about it, it's the same way when you meet people. Like 9 times out of 10, you not overthink it, but you're thinking about it, how you look, your presentation, the way you talk, what you say, and oftentimes it's the complexities of how you view yourself in your mind, but it's not authentic to how you would act in a normal, relaxed situation. So they get that. People like, who is you? You know, like. But when you just having fun, it's like this the time where it's the lightest. It's like that light energy when it's just not LIGHT, but like what? Yeah.
LRTE.
Why is that word spelled the same?
I
I just
know.
realized I meant that exact word, but with the different definition. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, it's light as a feather is what I mean. But it's just
that's not GHT.
I
It
just
is.
said
It's
that.
a homonym. It's a homonym, right?
I was like, why is that word spelled?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was gonna be different in my
Gotcha.
mind.
Gotcha.
But anyway, yeah, like I think that's important for people who are artists and who create that. I think people really need to understand that you need to make that a Facebook post. That might reach everybody 30 and up, but the young kids you got to make a TikTok.
Oh, don't worry. What you said, that's gonna be the trailer.
Oh,
That's
you
going
go.
up on
That
the
makes
top.
sense.
That's
That
going
makes
up on
sense.
the TikTok. Don't worry about
We
it.
got TikTok?
yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we out here.
Hold on, I don't have TikTok.
I don't either.
We got TikTok.
Exactly. No, me. Yeah. No. Really.
We.
We got TikTok. My guy. Couldn't do it without you, big dog.
It's
Wouldn't do it without you, big dog.
Because I sure ain't getting on TikTok.
Look, man.
You brave. You pioneer.
Listen, so my friend over once COVID started and we went into lockdown initially, he would do nothing but send me 1 or 2 TikToks every single day.
Yeah.
And I told
Pandemic
him,
was like that.
I hate TikToks. Stop.
Yep.
He's like, okay. And the next day he proceeded to send me more.
Yep.
And it kept going and going. It still goes to this day.
Yep.
But before I started even venturing into TikTok, like, he sent me one, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just take a look at it. And I looked at him like, all right, it ain't that bad. Because I initially thought, because when TikTok first came out, I thought it was nothing but like a little Vine ripoff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But only thing I was seeing was girls just doing the same dance. And I'm just sitting up there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, so this is what the world's going crazy over?
You
Teenage girls dancing the same song every day?
You weren't wrong.
No, you weren't wrong. It developed.
I think
the pandemic developed it. Yeah.
It is a Vine, just elongated.
Yeah,
Like,
That- but then
wrong.
a Vine is just a video. Then
Vine was just 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Remember?
those are the
yo, but
days,
TikTok
man.
though is pretty fascinating. Like, I have a TikTok. I've tried to make some videos on it. I wouldn't recommend watching them. But
I gotta find it now.
You're
At
just like
Jimsbeatz.
I have one. Don't go near it. But
Plug.
like it's there.
It's plug.
at Jimsbeatz TikTok. I
Yeah.
got some tutorials on there. I got like 160 views.
For sure.
I'm famous.
Bruh, like
Drop a bomb on it.
TikTok, bro, TikTok is a whole different animal. Like it's a full-time job. To be like in the top like whatever percent, or like for you to be famous on there, like it's a job. You have to create content. Like it ain't like Instagram where you just put like a reel a day or a story or a post a day and just be done with it. No, you gotta post like multiple things a day.
Yeah.
It is
But
nuts.
you can find anything on TikTok now. It's like almost like a Google search.
Yeah, bro.
You know the craziest thing? Yeah, anything. The craziest thing is that my wife Julia, you guys all know Julia.
Right. Lovely lady.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Julia.
Love you, babe. She is on TikTok all the time, and she saves videos. And usually every night or every other night, we have like a TikTok movie night where she shows me the like 25 TikToks that she watched in the day that she.
That's lovely.
That's love.
That's
and
lovely.
some of them are just funny, but some of them are like she finds stuff from like doctors, from psychiatrists, from chiropractors, cooks, everything, and like really, really good information. Some of the stuff I'm just like, I didn't need to see that. It was just a waste of my time.
Man, that's what I said. Like that's love. Cause like sometimes me and my girl will curl up on the couch and we just go through, but we don't have like no specific things that we're looking for. What you would like, and we're not about to stay here because I know we can stay up here for the next 45 minutes talking about this, but there is a TikTok of a guy whose father he records. I guess he used to be like some like chef, if he's not still a chef right now. He makes gourmet food out of just regular stuff.
Wait, are you talking about the guy who makes gourmet food from like fast food?
Yeah, like the little I'm not okay. Okay, I gotta be PC right now. Okay, so I don't know his ethnicity, right? But like,
you said it.
I said we're not staying here. He asked the question.
No, he did say we're not staying here.
He asked the question.
We here though.
we here.
We about to pull out the drum.
Hey, that was good. That was good.
But no, like it's like Yannick was saying, like there is literally like it's bigger than what I thought it was. Like, because the initial thing is like it was just a dancing, but like it's grown. Like he said, like there's doctors on there, there's people, there's physicians like telling you stuff. It ain't even about COVID. It's just like things like, oh, well, you wanna, if you want better health, do this, do that. Like, and it works for them. And I just be looking, and I'm just astounded at it because like you can literally find anything on TikTok, and it's nuts. And if you're not careful,
recipes.
Right. Thank you. I don't know if you noticed.
Got mad recipes on TikTok.
I don't know if you noticed, but when you said it, I was finna go recipes, but then I'm like, let me wait. And then you started talking. You brought up food, and I was like, oh, it's coming. It's coming.
I wanted to put.
That's all I want to know.
Like 80% of the things that Julia tries to make at home come from TikTok. And like soups, pasta, like how to air fry chicken, fish, whatever. Like stovetop, oven, deep fried, anything. You find anything on there. People are all about food on there.
Yeah. So like TikTok ain't just for the kids, yo. I thought that's what it was initially, and I was just like, my old angry, grumpy old man, that ain't for me. Don't send me no TikToks. But
I still ain't gonna do it. I
just got that. It's okay.
Instagram.
I don't.
Don't judge me.
No, I'm not.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you.
No, because you're right. That's all I'm saying. I was gonna be like, hey, let's not push Darius too hard, because this man really just didn't figure out Instagram. I guess
I'm not pushing anybody, because with it being so much on there, like it's like a mini TV, right? But videos are only like a minute long at the longest. And you could just scroll, and it's just like watching something on TV, but it gets your attention span for like a minute. So you can go from watching something funny to something food to something that's informing you, and you can it's a wormhole.
Listen, stop the peeling. Go ahead.
No, wait, because I had to pull myself out of Instagram hole. Like I had to take
the other cool thing about TikTok is that if you don't want to see the content, you can hold the video and say, I'm not interested, and you'll just get the videos you want to see. So if you see people dancing, you just hold it, not interested, you never see dances again.
Thank you for telling me that, because I did not know you could do that. I was looking for that type of action.
Here's the thing. If we get Darius on TikTok, he'll never be on time again. I'll never be on time again.
That's not true. That's
he's like never gonna show up, and then you guys find out a couple weeks later that
that's how TikTok
famous.
is, bro. Life. You think you fell in the Instagram hole for a little bit, bro? TikTok holes are something different, bro.
I had to uninstall Instagram. I'm like, no, man. Look, I uninstalled it for like a week. Yeah, because I would be on there. I'd be like, I know I'm not gonna make these salmon nuggets. I know I'm not. I don't even have an air fryer. I know I'm not. But I can't help watching.
Instagram
what's the girl, Kim Creations?
No. I don't know who. It was a dude.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, I don't. I'm like, bro, why am I watching this man make this salmon? I'm not gonna do
I
it.
need some salmon nuggets though, for sure.
Bro,
For sure.
I sent it to him. I sent him the whole recipe so he could do it. Think he did it?
No. But you knew that before you sent it.
No, I didn't.
And it's not the
This
fact
man
that-
cooks salmon all the
I
time.
do.
Yeah, but salmon nuggets though? Like,
Were
you tempted to do salmon nuggets?
I haven't attempted. It's just because it just.
No,
it just,
are you tempted?
I wouldn't mind it.
Oh, okay.
I need to watch this video. Salmon nuggets.
Hey, I'm getting real hungry yet, yo. Like, we gotta.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just hit that. I'm
Hey,
just hit it. I'm gonna just hit that curve, bro.
You know what
I
threw
told
me
you
off
we
with
wasn't
it though?
supposed to be. See, we got roped back into it.
No.
I
You
tried
started.
to move
You
it.
started. You
No,
started.
because
You
he
started.
said no. Because he sat up there and said recipes, and that glued you back
You see
in
how
and
you
started
blaming
talking
you,
about
Giannis?
this.
See how you blaming you? See how you blaming you?
I'm not blaming
You
him. I'm
started.
just saying.
And I was
I
like,
tried to move past it.
This is not the food podcast, right? I ain't brought up food in 3 weeks. I ain't brought up food in 3 weeks. Hey, bro. So
That's not true, bro.
That's not
we
true.
talked about mac and cheese with Jeanette.
That wasn't me. I said I didn't.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But since we're all a team here, you know, if one falls, then you know we all got to take accountability.
I don't know if this is one of those scenarios,
No,
but I
it's
see what
not.
you're trying to do there.
I
dog.
see.
I see what you're trying to do.
All I'm
I
saying
respect
is-
it. I respect it. I respect it.
I didn't know if you fry the skin side of the salmon, it makes it easier to peel. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. That
Okay.
I haven't had fried salmon. I only baked it.
I've never had any fried salmon either, but
Yeah.
fried salmon nuggets sounds like ill.
Yes.
You fried it?
Delicious.
How's fried taste?
I didn't fry it.
Okay.
Somebody fried
So
it.
how-
But it was delicious.
So how does fried taste different?
I had
from baked?
COVID, so I couldn't
Who
really
is somebody?
taste it.
I've had air fried salmon.
How is that?
It's good, but I would rather have smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon is pretty decent. We'll put it on a bagel, some cream cheese.
Decent.
Decent.
Jerk salmon.
Decent is a good thing. Decent's a
Not
good
good.
thing. It's amazing to you.
It's not amazing, but it's not decent.
Decent,
Like-
decent is not a bad thing on my radar. If I had like good, decent.
I feel like it's bad, decent, good, and amazing.
Yeah, I think I use decent the wrong way, but I like it's more in the good category
feel
than
like-
it is on the mediocre
I
category.
feel like if someone's like, "How do you like it?" You're like, "It's decent."
I no, you're right. You're right.
That's like,
But I
that's
use it
like,
differently, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, mine is like when bad is good. That's my decent. My decent is like the opposite of decent.
so not decent.
What was you gonna say, Darius, bro?
I don't even know after that last one. Oh, I think I was gonna say something about fire being like high tier, but no, like I had fried salmon, and it was. I had COVID, so my sense of taste was like just starting to come back, so I couldn't taste the fullness of it, but it was good. But I had jerk salmon. I had this jerk salmon pasta from this place called I'm a plug, man. Ain't even gonna lie, 'cause they fire. They called Lighthouse Grill.
Okay.
Fire. But it's in like
Where's
Hyde
it at?
Park.
Hyde Park.
And
Sure. What's it called? Please call again.
Lighthouse
Lighthouse Grill.
Grill.
Okay.
But they make this jerk salmon pasta. Man. Jerk salmon? It ain't even spicy, but it's good. It's good.
I like my spice. I like my salmon to be spicy. Well, see, I like spicy stuff anyway.
This man gave me scorpion Tabasco sauce.
Here we go.
Hey,
Bruh,
listen.
this-
We're at the spot. We're in the hole.
Oh, we finna come out. We
You-
finna come
you
out.
said that
the
last
light,
time.
the light is ahead.
You said that
We finna
last
come
time.
out. This ain't got nothing to do with food. This is condiments. This is different. This is a whole different.
All right.
I'm trying to say that with a straight.
I know. Yeah. I'm like. Okay.
It's Tabasco sauce with like Moringa scorpion peppers.
Okay.
Bruh. Now they not as hot as the California Reapers.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, what
Carolina.
I said California Reapers. I don't know why. Anyway, but man, them things. You ever felt your lip peeling, like the skin in your lip?
No.
Never.
No.
You ain't never been chapped lipped.
The skin inside your lip.
He don't eat spicy food.
I know. We got him to eat a Carolina Reaper though.
Did you see that? Did you see that video?
I think I heard about it. I don't think I watched
Yeah,
it.
probably heard about
Yeah,
it.
because he told his fiance about it.
No, you gotta go.
And that's how I got introduced to her. Are you the guy that was hanging out the car? I'm like, this.
Yo.
I'm like, this man, like, You ain't had no better
are
stuff.
what you are. You are what
Oh.
and I'm the dude who ate a whole quart of ice cream. So it is what it is, bro.
No.
They ate the whole entire quart.
I'll
send you a video, B. I'll send you a video.
Yeah.
I got you.
I was so shocked.
We should hit you with that.
Yes.
That was so funny. Yeah, bro. Because this is the funniest one, bro. You're the only one in the video who actually maintained normal the entire time, and then after the fact had the most reverse reaction. So that was hilarious. I just told her, that was so funny. We did that. Me and Fred were tripping on the video like that, but we I hop chilling, and Darius is just going through it.
Man, I was sick for like 3 days.
Really?
Yes.
I was good the next day.
Yeah,
maybe our afternoon the next day.
I was straight out after the morning. I just had to let the thing go. You know what I mean?
Let that thing, I think I got a stomach ulcer after that.
You guys gonna do that one chip challenge on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think every season finale we're trying to do something spicy, right? Or some kind of food challenge, right?
You know,
The fact that came out of your mouth, I'm with it.
Yeah, I thought that's what we committed to.
I'm gonna watch y'all.
I'm all for it.
Because I'm the
Why
one
not?
that ate the seeds. And nobody gets seeds with me. That's what a death is.
We all picked a piece of
Yeah, you cut them, didn't you?
No,
Yeah,
you
you
remember
did
Cam was like, Darius, you gotta eat the bigger piece. Yeah, go ahead. And he was like, and I thought it was sweet. It was my fault.
It was
It was
your
my fault.
You shouldn't have cut a big piece.
It was my fault. It was my
Yeah.
fault. But no, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
but even after the video, you were like, "I'll do another piece too," and I had to tell you no because Sierra was about to give it to you, and I was like, "You got that look in your eye."
She was.
She really was trying to get you.
She was. She was. She was egging it on.
But hey,
Oh, die.
here we are, bro.
Here we are.
Thriving. 2022.
Man. With
What's
ulcers.
Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Reset the Vibe. I'm Vash,
D.
Cam.
and thank you to our special guest Yannick for coming through, sir. We appreciate you. Before we let you go, do you have anything that's coming up? Anything that you want to plug besides the TikTok?
Hey, you don't have to go check out TikTok. If you do, follow me, subscribe.
Yeah, don't just like, follow.
Was it like, follow, and subscribe?
Yeah.
Find me on Instagram at Jimsbeatz or Tism.1, like spelled out, ONE. I have 2 accounts, one for my art and one for my music. Music is art, but I keep them separate. I have an album coming out in a month called Ascend. Yeah, I think that's it.
Word. The links to his socials will be in the not the comments,
The bio.
the bio,
Always.
description, all that.
Comments, though. That's a great way to plug, because everybody go to the comments.
That's nice.
And everything. You got to read the comments.
Take us home.
It'll be there. It'll be there. Ladies and gentlemen, please take care of one another. Be kind to one another. And as always, love.